Greetings to all. Welcome to Future of this Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the daily current affairs of 30th September. So today we are going to discuss the topics of 92% of workers cleaning urban sweepers septic tanks from SC, ST, OBC group survey. So which comes under GS1 Indian society. Next, Israel pounds Lebanon. Two more Hezbollah leaders among dead. So which comes under prelims perspective. Next, glaciologist digs deep into permafrost to gauge future climate change disasters. So which comes under GS3 environment. Next, not just nothing. Dark matter quest close in dire neutrino fog. So which comes under GS3 science and technology. Next, Jordan, which we have to know under country news. Next, editorial analysis. So these are the topics we are going to discuss today. Our first topic is about 92% of workers cleaning urban sewers, septic tanks from SC, ST, OBC group survey. So why it is in news? Government data from over 3,000 urban local bodies across 29 states and union territories shows that 91.9% of the 38,000 sweeper and septic tank cleaners profiles belong to SC, ST or OBC communities. Next, what are the socio-economic conditions of workers engaged in sewer and septic cleaning? First, the demographics. A significant majority, 91.9% of the 38,000 profile workers belong to marginalized communities, 68.9% scheduled caste, 14.7% other backward class, next 8.3% scheduled tribes and 8 from gender category. The employment status is the workforce largely comprises low income individuals engaged in hazardous low status jobs reflecting persistent caste-based disparities. Next, their capital subsidized support. Since the launch of the Namaste program, rupees 2.26 crore in capital subsidies have been distributed to 119 beneficiaries, indicating some financial support for transitioning into self-employment. So how effective are current policies and rehabilitation schemes for sanitation workers? So first thing is Namaste program aimed at mechanizing sewer cleaning and providing safety training and equipment. The program is a replacement for the self-employment scheme for rehabilitation of manual scavengers. Next, the enumeration process. Over 3,326 urban local bodies are involved with 38,000 workers profiled so far. However, 283 ULBs reported zero workers, suggesting that the profiling might not be comprehensive or that many workers are unrecognized. Next, the rehabilitation success. Out of 58,198 identified manual scavengers under the previous SRMS scheme, 97.2% were the SC communities. While cash transfers of rupees 40,000 were provided, only a fraction pursued skills training or loans for alternative livelihoods. Now, what are all the challenges here? The first thing is social stigma. Predominantly from marginalized communities, SC, ST, OBC, these workers face discrimination, limiting their access to better job opportunities and social mobility. Next, their health risk. Exposure to hazardous working conditions leads to significant health risk with a high mortality rate, that is 377 deaths from 2019 to 23 due to unsafe practices. Next, the ineffective rehabilitation. Current policies and support programs lack comprehensive coverage, leaving many workers unrecognized and limiting the effectiveness of financial assistance and training initiatives. Next, what are all the health risk and safety measures for workers in hazardous cleaning and roles? First, the hazardous workers condition. Between 2019 and 23, 377 workers died from hazardous cleaning activities, highlighting the extreme risk associated with the sewer and septic tank cleaning. Next, the safety training. The Namaste program aims to provide safety training for workers to minimize health risk, but the effectiveness of such training needs further evaluation. Next, the equipment and mechanization. The goal to transition workers from manual cleaning to mechanized process, reducing their exposure to dangerous conditions and improving overall safety. Next, what are the way forward for this? Enhance the effectiveness of the Namaste program by providing robust safety training and resources for workers, coupled with extensive outreach to ensure all workers are identified and supported, including those currently unrecognized. Next, their promotion of mechanism and safety standards is by accelerate the mechanization of sewer cleaning operations to reduce health risk and establish strict safety standards and regulations to protect workers, ensuring regular monitoring and enforcement of these standards. Next, with this, we have the UPSC mains question which have been asked in 2018 whether the National Commission of Scheduled Caste can enforce the implementation of constitutional reservation for the scheduled caste in the religious minority institutions. Examine. So you can practice on this question. Our next topic is about Israel pounds Lebanon, two more Hezbollah leaders among dead. So why it is in news? The recent escalation in conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has resulted in significant casualties with targeted airstrikes leading to the deaths of key Hezbollah leaders. The ongoing violence underscores the heightened tensions and deterioration security situation in Lebanon. Next, what are the places in news currently? The first thing is Sidon, a southern city where airstrikes resulted in significant casualties, including the deaths at least 24 people from strikes on two adjacent buildings. Next, Baalbek Hermel, a region where 21 people were killed with at least 47 injured. Next, Bekaa Valley. Specifically, the Jau Jenin area saw additional fatalities in targeted raids. These areas are crucial for Hezbollah operations and have faced intensified military actions. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2018. The term two-state solution is sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of affairs. So here the answer is Israel. So option B is correct. Our next topic is about glacialites digs deep into permafrost to gauge future climate change disasters. So why it is in news currently? Glaciologist Essen Rimya is conducting research on permafrost collapse in the Himalayas as part of India's Arctic expedition, focusing on its potential role in natural disasters. Her work aims to address data gaps and improve early warning systems for vulnerable communities. So with this, we have to know what is permafrost. Permafrost is the layer of soil or rock that remains frozen for at least two consecutive years, typically found in polar and high altitude regions. It often contains ice and organic materials trapped beneath the surface. As global temperature rise, permafrost thaws, which can lead to ground instability, erosion, and the release of greenhouse gases, contributing to climate change. Its degradation poses significant risk to ecosystem, infrastructure, and local communities. Next, the key findings of the research is first thing is impact on infrastructure. So the thawing of permafrost poses serious risk to infrastructure with potential for buildings and roads to collapse as evidenced by similar occurrence in other parts of the world such as Canada. Next, linked to natural disaster. There is an emerging correlation between permafrost thaw and recent natural disasters in the Himalayas, such as the bursting of the South Lahnab Glacial Lake in Sikkim, indicating that permafrost dynamics could be contributing factor. Next, the insufficient data. Insufficient data. The study highlights significant data gaps regarding permafrost conditions in the Indian Himalayas, necessitating more detailed research to understand its characteristics and behavior. Next, the thawing of permafrost. The first thing is thawing can stabilizes buildings, roads, and pipelines, leading to structural failures and costly repairs. As permafrost melts, the ground can collapse, causing erosion and loss of land, especially near coastlines and riverbanks. Thawing permafrost can release stored carbon dioxide and methane, exacerbating global warming. Changes in soil composition and moisture levels can alter habitats, affecting local flora and fauna. Melting ice can lead to the formation of new water bodies, increasing the risk of flooding in low lying areas. Deploy advanced sensors for real time monitoring of temperature, moisture, and ground movement for data collection. Implementing resilient construction practices to adapt to changing ground conditions. Next, reducing greenhouse gas emissions to limit global warming and its impact on permafrost. Plant native vegetation and use microbial treatments to stabilize permafrost. Design urban areas with green spaces and natural drainage system. Also by involve local communities in environmental monitoring and data collection. So our next topic is about UPSC prelims previous year question 2019, which is related to our previous topic. So which of the following statements is correct about the deposits of methane hydrate? Global warming might trigger the release of methane gas from these deposits. Large deposits of methane hydrate are found in Arctic tundra and under the seafloor. Methane as atmosphere oxidizes to carbon dioxide after decade or two. So select the correct answer using given below. So here the answer is D. All the three statements are correct statement. Our next topic is about not just nothing. Dark matter quest close in dire neutrino fog. So why it is in news currently? The LUX Zeppelin experiment has made significant advancement in understanding dark matter by placing strict limits on its possible identities. Despite ongoing challenges and null results, the scientific community remains dedicated to uncovering the nature of this elusive substance. Next, the introduction to LUX zipline, that is LX experiment. Scientists involved in the LUX zipline, that is the LZ experiment, located 1.5 kilometer underground in South Dakota, announced that they placed the tightness limits on the possible identities of dark matter particles. Although this result was null outcome, meaning it did not identify dark matter, it clarified what dark matter could not be. So next, the understanding the dark matter. Dark matter makes up most of the universe mass with visible matter like stars and planets, contributing only 15%, but it does not emit, observe, or reflect light, making it invisible to direct observation. It is thought to interact with ordinary matter through gravity, influencing the structure and behavior of galaxies and cosmic phenomena. Next, despite extensive research, its exact composition remains unknown, with various theories proposing unknown particles as potential candidates for dark matter. Next, the detecting dark matter. The challenge is to detect whether dark matter interacts with atomic nuclei and electrons. Some theories suggest that the dark matter can touch visible matter, but detecting this interaction is complicated. Next, the advancements in detection. Today's experiments use tones of liquid, xenon and argon, to capture dark matter. Recent findings have ruled out dark matter nucleus interactions at even smaller scales than previously thought. Next, the challenges ahead. Future experiments face increased noise from neutrons, complicated the search for dark matter. So scientists are exploring ways to detect lighter dark particles that would scatter even less of nuclei. Next, their conclusion. The hunt for dark matter continues to unite diverse talents in science, reflecting humanity, relentless quest to understand the universe. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims previous year question 2015. In the context of modern scientific research, consider the following statements about ice cube, a particle detector located at South Pole, which was recently in news. So it is the world's largest neutrino detector, encompassing a cubic kilometer of ice. It is a powerful telescope to search for dark matter It is buried deep in the ice. Which of the statements given above is correct? Here answer is D. All the statements are correct. Our next topic is about Jordan. So Jordan becomes the first country in the world to eliminate leprosy, receiving official verification from the World Health Organization. So it is an Arab country of Southwest Asia in the rocky desert of northern Arabian Peninsula. It is named for the Jordan River, which passes on its western border. It occupies an area of around 91,880 square kilometer. Next, they are boundary countries. It is bounded to the north by Syria, to the east by Iraq, to the southeast and south by Saudi Arabia, and to the west by Israel land and the West Bank. The capital and the largest city in the country is Amman. So we could find here. So named from Ammonites who made the city their capital in the 13th century BCE. So Jordan has 16 miles, that is 26 kilometers of coastline on the Gulf of Aqaba. So you could find here. In the southwest. Next, where AI Aqaba is the only port is located here. Next, Jordan has three major physiographic regions, that is the uplands east of the Jordan River and the Jordan Valley, the northwest portion of the Great East African Rift System. The desert region is mostly within the Syrian Desert, an extension of the Arabian Desert, and occupies the eastern and southern parts of the country, comprising more than four-fifths of its territory. The Jordan Valley region contains the Dead Sea. So the official language is Arabic and their currency is Jordanian dinar. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2015. Which one of the following countries of the Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? So the answer here is B, Jordan. So our next topic is about editorial analysis. So under editorial analysis, we have the topic of common practice standards must have Indian outlook. First, we have to know about their context. India's agroforestry sector offers significant potential for carbon finance integration through afforestation, reforestation, and revegetation, that is ARR initiatives. However, existing global carbon standards pose challenges due to their common practice criteria which do not align well with India's fragmented smallholder agriculture landscape. So with this we have to know about agroforestry. Agroforestry accounts for 8.65% of India's total land area and contributes 19.3% of the country's carbon stocks. Thus, agroforestry plays a significant role in environmental sustainability and economic development. So, what is the carbon finance contribution? Recent research suggests that if adequate policies, financial support, and incentives are implemented, the sector that could contribute an additional carbon sink of over 2.5 billion tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. Next, common practice in carbon standards. So, in the realm of the carbon finance, common practice is a key criterion used to assess whether a project is additional, meaning it goes beyond what is typically done in a given region. For ARR projects, that involves determining whether similar activities are commonly practiced without the financial initiatives provided by the carbon credits. So the current standards is according to carbon standards such as VERA's verified carbon standard, that is VCS, or the gold standard. If an activity is deemed common practice, it may not qualify for carbon credits as it not seen as contributing additional environment benefits beyond the norm. So the current definition of common practice in global carbon standards often reflects the realities of large-scale agriculture practice found in regions such as Latin America, Africa, or the United States, whether the land holdings are extensive and contiguous. Next, the Indian context. So in contrast, India is characterized by small and fragmented land holdings. Recent data indicates that 86.1% of Indian farmers are small and marginal with the land holdings of less than 2 hectares. So these farmers often engage in agroforestry in non-systematic, scattered manner, planting trees alongside crops or on small patches of fallow land. While beneficial, these practices may not meet the additionality criteria set by current carbon standards because they are perceived as common within the Indian context. Next, their need for Indian-centric approaches. Given India's unique agricultural landscapes, there is an urgent need to redefine and consider the common practice criterion to better reflect the specific challenges and opportunities within the Indian agroforestry sector. An Indian centric approach would recognize that even small incremental challenges in land management practices such as adopting more systematic agroforestry techniques or utilizing carbon finance to maintain tree cover can be transformative. Next, their potential benefits. So, revising and consideration of the common practice standards to accommodate the fragmented smallholder model prevalent in India would unlock the vast potential for carbon sequestration. Next, inclusion of farmers, that is, this would enable a greater number of farmers to participate in carbon finance projects, providing them with additional income streams while contributing to India's climate goals. By acknowledging the fragmented nature of Indian agriculture, carbon credit platforms could design incentives that encourage systematic agroforestry, thereby enhancing both environmental sustainability and rural livelihoods. Next, the challenges and opportunities in agroforestry. Agroforestry, when integrated with the ARR initiatives, offer a viable solution to the various challenges faced by India's agriculture sector. By promoting alternative livelihoods and providing additional income streams for farmers, these projects can help address issues such as low productivity, dependence on monsoons, and environmental degradation. The carbon finance provided by ARR project enables more systematic and sustained approach. With this, we have farmers grappling with unpredictable weather patterns and fluctuating crop yields participating in ARR projects present a pathway to income diversification. By integrating trees into agricultural landscapes or restoring degraded forest areas on their land, farmers can tap into additional revenue streams through carbon sequestration. Next, they help small and marginal farmers. Research institutes such as the Energy and Resource Institute have already demonstrated the potential of ARR projects in India, spearheading 19 projects across 7 states, benefiting over 56,600 farmers. However, for such initiative to scale up, it's imperative that international carbon finance platforms revise these standards to better align with the realities of Indian agriculture. Next, as India looks to expand its agroforestry sector and leverage the benefits of carbon finance, it is crucial that international standards evolve to reflect the specific conditions of Indian subcontinents. Revising the common practice guidelines to be more inclusive of Indian agroforestry practices will enable millions of small and marginal farmers to participate in ARR projects. This would not only drive sustainable development but also provide a much needed boost to the incomes of millions of rural households, ultimately contributing to the overall economic and environmental resilience of the country. So, next our topic is about what is the carbon market. Under this, we have to know about carbon market. So carbon markets are market-based mechanism designed to reduce greenhouse gas emission by creating a financial incentive for individuals and organizations to reduce their carbon footprint. They operate on the principle of cap and trade, where a government or regulatory body sets a cap on the total amount of greenhouse gas emissions allowed within a specific jurisdiction. Next, the types of carbon markets. So the first thing is compliance markets. These markets are mandatory, requiring regulated entities to purchase carbon credits to offset their emissions. Often these entities are large industrial polluters. Next, with this, we'll have first voluntary markets. So in types of carbon markets, we have first compliance markets. Next, we'll be seeing the voluntary markets. So these markets are voluntary, allowing individuals, business and organizations to purchase carbon credits to offset their emissions beyond regulatory requirements. India is a significant exporter of carbon credits into decentralized voluntary market with its India also and has credit between US dollars 200 to 300 billion per year and accounting for 17% of global supply in 2022. Next, the carbon credits. So they represent a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions that can be traded. One carbon credits equates to 1 ton of carbon dioxide equivalent reduced or avoided. Next, carbon credits can be generated through various activities such as implementing energy efficient technologies, reducing wastewater, or transition to renewable and energy resources, preventing deforestation, or also promoting reforestation. Next, the carbon taxes. They are directly levied on the emission of greenhouse gases. This means the polluters pay a tax based on the amount of greenhouse gases they emit. Carbon taxes generate revenue for government, which can be used to fund climate mitigation and adaptation projects or reduce other taxes. Next, global trends in carbon markets. As of August 2023, 74 carbon pricing mechanisms have been identified worldwide in either the form of carbon taxes or emissions trading schemes. In 2023, carbon pricing revenues reached a record of US dollars 104 billion according to the World Bank's annual state and trends of carbon pricing 2024 report. So what are the current government initiatives related to the carbon market in India? So they are carbon credit trading, carbon credit trading scheme, that is CCTS. Next, other existing schemes are the perform, achieve and trade, that is PAT, and the renewable energy certificates, that is REC, renewable energy certificate system. So the next is monitoring and verification, that is the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, that is BEE. Next, the National Steering Committee of Indian Carbon Market, that is NSCICM. So are responsible for the ensuring the integrity of carbon credits through the rigorous monitoring, reporting and verification process. So with this we have to know about India's agroforestry sector. India's agroforestry sector plays a crucial role in country's agricultural landscape, combining forestry and agriculture to enhance productivity, sustainability and biodiversity. Here are some key aspects of this sector. Next, their definition and practices. Agroforestry integrates trees and shrubs into agricultural landscape, promoting a diverse range of crops. Common practice included, so they are alley cropping, silvopasture and forest farming. So alley cropping is planting trees in rows which crops in between. Silvopasture is combining livestock grazing with tree farming. Then forest farming is cultivating high value crops under a forest canopy. Next, their benefits. They can be enhanced biodiversity, also the soil conservation, climate resilience and the economic diversification are the benefits of this. Next, their socio-economic impact is agroforestry can empower rural communities by providing employment opportunities, food security and livelihood security. Next, government initiatives is the Indian government promotes agroforestry through various schemes such as National Agroforestry Policy and financial support. Next, their challenges. Despite its benefit, the sector faces challenges including lack of awareness. Many farmers are unaware of agroforestry benefits and practices. Next, the land tenure issues. Unclear land ownership can hinder investment in agroforestry. Next, the market access. Farmers may struggle to access markets for their agroforestry products. So with this, we have to know about the future aspects. With increasing awareness of sustainable practice and climate change, agroforestry in India is poised for growth. And the research and innovation coupled with supportive policies can help overcome existing challenges and maximize its potential. So, with this, overall, the agroforestry sector is vital for enhancing food security, improving livelihoods, and promoting environmental sustainability in India. So, these are the topics which we have covered under the editorial session. So you have to get through all over this topic. So that's all from today's news. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.